Baddies fine and 90s fine. Completely different stratosphere. A baddie gonna have you acting different because she always gonna be trying you. And you gotta remember her whole entire existence is for the male gaze. Not just you, but Grandpage is just gonna be thirst trap, thirst trap, thirst trap. You can't cuff that because you need peace and some semblance of loyalty. Fine or fine-ish as the kids saying. She look good. She kind of something that you might be. You're not finna talk to her. Why? Because she's fine. She's fine-ish. If you do talk to her, it's gonna be a good time. Life gets better. But she probably gonna teach you a couple lessons too. But 90s fine. 90s fine. 90s fine will have you on the phone for 5 hours like you ain't had to call collect and you ain't paying for minutes. 90s fine spawned an entire genre of dudes singing about how much they want to make love to this girl. Not how much they want to cry. How much they want to pull the tracks. How when bro get off work, he about to do another double just so he could pay for your nails. 90s fine brought a whole new meaning to the word simpery. Sometimes you just look at the women in the 90s and you go, you know what? I would have been writing songs too. And you can't sing. And don't let her know how to sing. 90s fine and can sing. Some of y'all girls out here bragging about a no gag reflex. And it's a girl out here who could steal your man because she hit a high note.
Like I said, it's a mentality. It's a mentality. You know, it's like, of course, it's the, you know, it's the appearance. But you have a lot of women who are considered baddies who look very amazing, but they're in that, it's a spirit, bro. Like, y'all be like, man, you know, it really is. Look at how all the baddie this, baddie that. Being a baddie, you have a whole show called Baddies. And to be a baddie, you have to show that you're destructive. Literally. You have to show, mind y'all, my bad if I'm looking a little, I got the phone set up a certain way because we, you know, so, here, you know, take heed to the others. To prove that you're a baddie in the show, you have to be destructive. Okay, is it right here? Right here? Okay, you have to be destructive. So it's like being a fine woman. If you see a fine woman, you know, you want to make sure if you 2 blocks down, you might run a couple miles to get the door open. Of course, I'm over exaggerating, but it's just the way she carry herself where you want to be attentive. Like, what was that? I can't approach her that way. She different. She move a little different. She dressed different. Like how he said, you know, certain women and how they move is tailored to the male gaze. The 90s, the 90s fine and fine to me, I feel like is in the same thing for me. Because they was just fine in the 90s. And they were dressing how they were dressing in the 90s. Right? I feel like fine looks good in any generation. There's no, she look good in the 80s. She'll look good with the afro in the 70s. You feel what I mean? I honestly feel like it doesn't matter. She's just fine, right? You know? It's an aesthetic. Like the 90s fine is an aesthetic. It's the way they dressed. The things they chose, just like in the early 2000s, video vixen vibe. You know what I mean? That's a different aesthetic from the 80s. But women in the 80s looks amazing. If you fine, you're fine. You fine, you fine. My argument will always be that baddie look and that baddie aesthetic. It's literally a way of action. Because it's beautiful women that looks just they could be fine if they change up the aesthetic. But let's watch more clips.
Being a baddie compared to being fine shit, right?
Yeah, being a baddie, and about it tomorrow morning. You're gonna jack out if you ain't careful. If you know what movie that is from, you're an OG, you're a real one. I ain't gonna lie, man. Having a voice like this, bro, I don't blame him for having a TikTok, bro. Go get paid, bro. Go get paid, bro. Get you some, get paid, bro. You already got everybody attention. Hey, attention. You gonna look, you know what I mean?
I mean, they kind of, look, at the end of the day, they both, you know, they both in the upper echelon of women, right? But the thing is, you know what I mean? Baddie is, you know, makeup, lashes, fit. You know what I mean? She gonna be done up, you know what I'm saying? Dudes gonna want to trick on her, you know what I'm saying? Like, she probably real expensive, mad expensive. You know what I'm saying? She got a roster. Fine women, you know what I mean? They, you know, they probably a little bit more strict. You know what I'm saying? They probably a little bit more strict. They roll up out of bed though, you know what I mean? They gonna look like fine shit, you know what I'm saying? Like with a crop top and some sweats at the grocery store, food market. You know what I'm saying? You wanna damn near help her with her groceries if she need. You know what I'm saying? Like you like, damn, I know it's strict over there. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
they made them groceries. You know what I mean? All state. That's all he ain't lying, though. Shout out to what's his name? His name is Flex Summerfield. Shout out to Mr. Summerfield. Dang, long live the bro. His last name was Andrew Summerfield. Long live my brother, man. Dang, I just brought me a whole... that's crazy.
But, you know, she might even be like kind of like 90s fine a little bit too. You know what I mean? She just got that type of 90 vintage fine with her. But at the end of the day, they both got dudes checking for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had the upper echelon, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like a little different in the sense that, hey, one may look like a modern day fine shit. The other one probably gonna look like vintage fine shit. Being a baddie.
See what I mean? It's like modern day fine, vintage fine. I feel like the vintage is in how you dressing, you know? Like certain hairstyles, certain outfits, certain aesthetics, certain accessories you choose to wear or she choose to wear, you know? But it's all in all, it's a mentality. You know, I feel like it's a mentality, the way you carry yourself, your mannerisms, you know, her code of conduct, how she conduct herself. Because you had some baddie acting women, you know, in the 90s. You know, they had that same, it's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. Cause destruction, want to be around everybody, getting slim, slick, digged. You know what I mean? You know, very quarrelsome. No, honestly, look into the baddies, how loud, and that's all shades. That's when people be like, oh, it's only a good. No, it's everywhere. Destruction. For real. It's the way that you carry yourself. How you just, you know?
A baddie versus fine. My definition of both. Fine is period. Like no matter what you doing, you just look good. Hairstyle, no hairstyle. Fingernails, no fingernails. That's just fine. And I mean like manicured fingernails. Fine is you wake up, wash your face,
Look good.
that's it.
Right.
A little lip gloss, that's it. You could put glasses on and you still cute.
Right. And everything you do, you look good. No matter what generation, what you do, you look good. You just, you got it together. It's not a lot of fine women out here who just fine. Like, wake up fine. Like it's a good amount. It's a good amount of fine women out here. Some of them mess themselves up, though. Courting that bad energy. Baddie. I'm just baddie. Just bad. Not a goodie, a baddie. That's what it be. It'd be a lot of fine women, but they just get turned, converted.
That's fine, in my opinion. Fine is how you look regularly. You just look like you look. A baddie, in my opinion, is someone who does the weave, the wig, the installation, the sew-in, the haircut, the hairstyle, always done up. Makeup, eyelashes, fingernails, lipstick, the whole 9 yards. The outfit is fitting. The outfit look like she going somewhere.
I don't agree.
Or what they'll call fine shit. Not with the cuss word. SHYT. Fine shit. Okay? Fine is like all natural. And I don't mean you didn't do nothing. I just mean this is ain't no makeup on my face. But I do have on lip gloss. I could do this to my head and I still look how I look. I don't have to put on the wig to feel like I look my best self to go out the house. Okay. I don't have to hide under a baseball cap because my hair is not done. I can throw these glasses on and still pull a man.
Okay.
That's fine. Fine.
Okay.
A baddie is somebody who feel like unless they get all done up, they don't look like nothing. They look like a bald head rat cat. In their mind, that's what they look like. In reality, that could be what they look like. But they can't get up, throw something on, a sweatsuit shirt, this thing and still be attractive.
This the reason why I don't agree with it all the way, right? Right? Because you can have a baddie, right? You can have like I said, you can have a baddie, like how her version of a baddie is someone who feel like they need to look good. They need to walk out and be able to walk out the house and do all this, right? This is why I feel like it's a mentality, because you have women who could do the opposite. They can wake up and look good without makeup. They can wake up and look boom, 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 but still not have that fine look to them because of the way they act. You feel what I mean? Like, I'm not disagreeing with her statement, right? Because fine and a baddie, I feel like a baddie, the term is not even, it's more than just the like, you know what I mean? Because like it's kind of like if you want to put it in attractiveness, baddie and fine, okay, consider look good, but how do you look good? Because I feel like it's just, of course it's opinionated. This is all of, it's us all opinion. But just because you can walk out the house, you can get up and walk out the house without putting on makeup and without, you can just wake up just who you are, don't mean you ain't a baddie. You can still dress like a baddie. You can be natural like Lauryn Hill. You can be very beautiful, wear your hair, but the way you dress and the way you act is considered baddie, right? You know what I mean? But if you actually take the shell of Lauryn Hill and act like how she moved, I don't know her personally, or of course, but the persona she gave was very, not outside doing too much, very cool, reserved, fly, her style, the way she dressed. It's a lot of barefaced baddies out here who could wake up naturally pretty, but they cause destruction. That's how I feel like a baddie is. It's a lot of pretty women who can become fine, literally. You change the way you act, you change the way you dress, you're not taking them, just like the fellas in the beginning. How they post thirst traps, the way you move, from a man's perspective. That's how we look at it. Because a woman and a man's natural, oh, she looks great. Now, what's the difference is how she acts. What's her aesthetic? What's she like? How does she move? Does she respect herself? Because what you present is what we perceive as men. Vice versa. What a woman sees, she perceives. You know what I mean? So I honestly feel like, and it's a feeling, it's not no rules. It's my feelings and opinion. It's the way you carry yourself. It's what you choose to wear. Because you can wake up barefaced and still be considered a baddie, in my opinion. How she said, oh, you can wake up, you don't need to do nothing to your hair. You can go ahead and walk out natural, and that's what makes you fine. And a baddie, you have to, you can wake up barefaced and still be a baddie. It's the way you act. It's the way you move. In my opinion, my definition, so it's really no right or wrong answer. It's just majority rules, and that's just what's going on. Kind of like with the double standard thing. I don't agree with that either. A man could be out here doing whatever he want to do, slim, slick, and everything, and a woman's considered. I feel like both of them is just as disgusting. But today in society, it's just like, oh yeah, it's cool. The man, the fellas, this was supposed to be, women. I don't agree with that. That's not the foundation I stand on. And my bad if I'm looking off again. Once again, I'm supposed to be looking somewhere over here. But the shoe, it's next clip.
So I've been seeing the conversation going around where a man was saying he would rather take a regular girl over a baddie. Of course, a baddie is too high maintenance, hair, nails, blah, 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 wigs, cost too much money versus a regular girl stay at home. She cooks. Maybe her hobbies are reading a book, doing art, making, I think it's pottery. The girl commentary about this topic is very funny because are y'all saying that regular girls are less than, like you rather just take something that's easier or they have less standards, or like what are we saying? And a baddie, maybe there maybe more competition over there. There's a lot of men who may want a baddie, and she may just very well feel, I don't got to settle for what you may or may not give me or how you may or may not treat me. I got options. The conversation is very, weird for me. I do feel like men have the option to say, I will prefer this type of woman over this type of woman. We prefer this type of man over this type of man. Cool. But to label a regular girl or a baddie, like, the labels is really just throwing me off, because who are you to dictate who's a baddie or not? What is a baddie's characteristics? I'm going to just compare myself, right? I don't think that I'm a baddie. I don't think I'm a bad. I think that I am that. That's how I think that. I don't think I'm a baddie. I don't think I'm a bad bitch. When I think of stuff like that, I do think of the hair, the nails, the makeup, the wigs. Maybe you out of town every other weekend. That's kind of the lifestyle a baddie gives to me. I'm not that. And even if a lot of men say that they don't want a baddie or they don't want a bad bitch, what about that threatens you so bad? You want a girl that stay at home, cook, don't regular go out? Yeah, I'm not that either. I don't go out. I've never been to a club before or anything like that. Whatever. But still half of the niggas can't get me either. So it's just like, don't think you're settling for less than, and there's just like a whole pool of women that's just going to be so happy to have you. That's just also not the case. Some regular girls, as y'all call it, yeah, they got options too. And although you may feel like you're settling for a regular girl because you can't afford a baddie, that regular girl may not want you. Then what are you going to do?
Okay, so I feel like this is a separate conversation. This is like regular girls, you know, it has nothing to do with fine. I guess, like I said, you know, she's saying like baddies, they travel, they go out, they do this, they're high maintenance, which, you know, it can apply to the fine. There's a lot of fine, high maintenance women, very classy, very demure, what everybody's saying, you know. So I honestly just believe that's just based on, you know, when it comes to, you know, upkeep. You can have a high maintenance baddie, you can have a high maintenance fine woman. My whole thing is this, like I said in the beginning, my thing is this: a baddie and being a fine woman, a baddie is more how you act. There's a lot of women that can be fine. Once again, they could fit in that baddie criteria of like destruction. I'm outside, I'm doing this. And a lot of these girls, I've seen a few girls on TikTok, a few women on TikTok, they're like, I wouldn't even consider myself a baddie. That's what I don't consider myself a baddie. You know, I look good, but I'll be in the house, I'll be chilling. You fine. It's just that woman that's considered a baddie is a fine woman doing bad things considered a baddie. Literally. Like regular girls, I feel like when she's saying like downplay, it's like, okay, she ain't high maintenance. That's a whole nother conversation, because the baddie lifestyle and aesthetic you're supposed to be getting tricked on. And go do your research on what trick means and what you do in order to trick somebody. You know, in order to go see a trick, you know, go do your research on where that term trick came from. You know, you got to go do your research on that. You wouldn't want to call yourself that anymore, or say that's what he's doing on you, because then you'll be calling yourself something that I feel like you know, yeah. But besides that, you know, yeah, it can be, she's talking about high maintenance or not. You know, are you going to spend money or not? That's two different things, in my opinion. Like, I know the type of woman I want, I'm going to spend money on, right? But it's not tricking. I'm not exchanging it for, you know. But, yeah, this is a good conversation, y'all. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about this. We got a few more clips. But, yeah, like I said, my stance on it is it's an attitude. It's the way you carry yourself. It's what you choose to do. For example, like they got the women be saying the 90s fine men and the YNs is just like older men being YNs. And this one lady explained it. She said something. A 90s attractive man considerably to women is a man of a clean cut. Nice clean cut. He clean shave. He keep his hair cut at a certain length. You know, he wear clothes that fit nice. They're not skinny. You know, button-up shirts, polos. It's an aesthetic.
I figured it out. So, I finally know the difference between a fine woman and a bad woman. You feel me? Like bad and fine. All right, so the reason I came to this conclusion, I was at the gym, and I realized, like, it's a lot of fine women in the gym. Like, especially where I go to, there's a lot of fine women in the gym. But you don't really know if they bad or not. Like, you just know they fine because they're in the gym working out and they look good. But you don't know if they bad. So I realized the difference is a woman is fine when you first see them, and that's the first thing that you get. Like, oh, she fine. But you don't know if she bad yet because you haven't spoke to her. You haven't seen her, like, out of a, you know, not public place. You just know that she's fine. When you know a woman bad is when she has the aura where everybody else knows she fine too, though. Like,
see, his thing is aura, how she carry herself, how she move. So his version of bad is, okay, she fine, but bad is like the way she carry herself, right? See, I'm telling you, it's an attitude. It's a way they carry
everybody,
themselves.
even other women know she fine. That's when you know she bad. Hey, and I could be wrong, but that's just my perception of it.
See, perception. People perceive it. So he felt like bad is more of a than fine. See, his thing is it's all opinion. Like I said, it's the way how aura. That's the way. That's not how you look. That's how you carry yourself, how you move, how you speak, how you know what I mean? That's why I'm saying it has everything to do. The separation is with how you carry yourself. With me, I like a fine woman over anybody bad or a baddie. Give me fine every day. I want fine, want somebody fine. Somebody, that's why when they say 90s fine or fine women, it's just how you move. Like, you got that, my aesthetic is that nice, classy. She carry herself a certain way. She ain't moved by that. She got a certain more. But you see how his is like different than the two guys before and even the ladies. So it's a good conversation. Everybody have different opinions.
You're not a baddie, is what I said to someone recently. And they said, oh my God. And I was like, you said, like I said, you were ugly. I said, you're not a baddie. Baddie was always just one end on the gender performance spectrum. It was never supposed to be the whole thing. I don't care what you say. Everybody was not meant to have sticky, wet edges and scheduled facial expressions. Everybody knows what the cuties are. The cuties are the ones that come into the room and they add to the room. The cuties love to be needed. They love to be loved and they love to add. And the baddies got a whole different thing going on. Wealth signaling, aesthetic intimidation, luxury goods, body posturing to give you the body smoking cigarette. Cutie slogan is make yourself lovable enough to be chosen, and the baddie slogan is make yourself untouchable enough to do the choosing. It's very simple, really. Before we go any further, yes, this is a man and woman's business because, well, the man has eyes. Regardless of how you want to see it, both are a trauma response, okay? The baddie is born of self-preservation or a villain arc from some traumatic event that made them feel like, yeah, they need to just be on top of every situation.
He explaining the way they act. See what I mean? The way they act, the way they move, their decision making. Like, I'm telling you.
Are you following? Because this is why I say everybody cannot be a baddie. Okay, the cutie method has always been around since Nietzsche defined it as weaponizing femininity all the way up until women had to take traditional roles in royal courts. And the real trauma about the beautiful lore of the baddie is that it was born out of a need to survive in male-dominated spaces and industries, if we're being honest. But either way, both have their pros and their cons, and they're both very much social contracts. Now, if you think about it, the cutie obviously definitely has way more freedoms, and the baddie is constricted to, like I said, scheduling facial expressions like 3 times a day. Like, if they laugh, they're like, because society is constantly judging them and because they platform themselves to hold up this high esteem position in which they use to ultimately protect themselves, because the baddie views vulnerability as somewhat being mistaken as a weakness. And again, it goes on and on. The cutie is ultimately oxytocin in human form. They believe more expression is more togetherliness, and more loveliness is more, and more relatability is how we spread love. And ultimately their power, their real power, the real power of the cutie is in making everybody feel needed. And once everybody feels needed, the cutie is the need. Again, both have their pros and their cons. Choose wisely when you say you want to be one of these aesthetics, but you must understand one of them robs you of the ambiguity and the adventure that is life. I'm not going to say which one, but I'm sure you're smart enough to put that together.
Aesthetic. See, each person has, the two ladies, right? One was explaining from a viewpoint of her being considered a regular girl and, not downplaying it because the regular girl may not even want you. So that's a whole separate conversation of, fine versus baddie, which was an interesting clip. The other lady's, her opinion on the topic is being fine is being able to wake up and just go. But literally all of the fellas, differentiate and categorize what fine and baddie is due to how they act. Because as a guy, you look good. You look amazing. Like, you look good. You look great. Okay, cool. But what separates it is the aesthetic, how you dress aesthetic. Like he said, aesthetic. I'm telling you. That's his opinion. I agree with what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like, of course we have our own minds, but like with what he's saying, I agree. Like it's an aesthetic. It's what you choose to look like. Everybody cannot do that because everybody isn't bad. Everybody can't have that baddie, even you can even have a baddie aesthetic, but not really be a baddie. That's not even you. You feel what I mean? This like, it's like a costume, right? I can choose to wear a nice grown gentleman's, outfit tomorrow, let the show, wear some nice slacks, some hard bottoms, nice little shirt, tucked in my pants, show I got a belt on, right? Oh, you look nice today. Okay, you on your grown man tip. Or I can go for, the biker look, leather jacket, some cool, biker kicks, some boots or something, raw denim jeans, graphic tee under, skull, shade, scully. That's an aesthetic. He biker aesthetic. But it's how you move and how you act. Is if you're really a biker, if you're really a gentleman, if you're really you know what I mean? It's all aesthetic and how you choose to act and move. That's why the differences with fine and being a baddie, that baddie separates it from looking good. That baddie is a way you act. Because you could be fine. You can be fine. You can look fine. But attaching that baddie to it is a fine baddie. Because baddie, it's the way you move. You know what I mean? It's the way you choose to dress. It's the way you choose to talk. It's what enraptures you, how you move, what you like to do. But y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all let me know. That's the end of the video. Like I said yesterday, we was gonna have this discussion on the channel and just basically talk about the differences, and it's all opinionated. You can agree to disagree. I know how we are on this channel. Y'all may not agree with everything I say. I might not agree with everything y'all say. I agree with none of these. But I love y'all. Appreciate y'all faithfully. Y'all had a beautiful Saturday, because I know I'm gonna get this out around 6 p.m. LA time, so it's a little later on in the evening. Appreciate the view. Appreciate you staying this long. All of my real ones. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. If you're new here, you might as well hit the subscribe button. If you made it this far, if you've been here, you know the drill. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Put God first. Allow him to lead and guide your footsteps. You can make your plans, but he determines how you get there. Yeah. Y'all be cool.